Good, fun, hopefully funny Friday to everybody out there. James here at Goings Enterprises LLC on the square in downtown Girard, bringing you an episode of Fun Funny Friday where I attempt to tell a story that I think is humorous. Uh, this episode is brought to you by Goings Manufacturing. We do plastics manufacturing. Of course, we do 3D printing for pretty much all of our plastics manufacturing. We can do anything from custom stuff to bulk orders with no limits. So, moving on, today's funny story. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is an old one that takes place in the late 90s, if I remember right. So, basically, these college kids, frat boys, they decided they're going to Daytona Beach, right? Well, they end up having to take a layover. I can't remember if it's New York or Chicago, one of those cities that have mounted officers on horseback. So they're on their layover and they miss their connecting flight and they decide, you know what? We're going to make the best of it. We're going to hang out here in the big city. We're going to walk around, check out the nightlife. So they're walking around, checking out the nightlife, going from dive bar to dive bar, getting a little inebriated, right? And they got their cameras. Again, late 90s, no cell phone cameras yet. They've got their cameras. They're snapping pictures, walking through, going around. Well, they come across a mounted police officer, but the officer was off of his horse dealing with either a traffic accident, like minor fender bender or something in downtown, and they thought it'd be a great idea to get pictures with this horse around this horse while the officer was preoccupied. Don't know how that goes with the department's policy, but they're snapping pictures. They think it'd be a great idea. Frat boys being frat boys, one of them stands on a big sidewalk planter, grabs behind the horse, grabs the tail and lifts it up, drops his drawers, and is acting like he is doing something lewd and lascivious with this law enforcement animal, right? At that time, the officer looks over, sees what's going on, and yells. At the same time, the horse, panicking, freaking out, decides to rear up and kick. This college boy ends up flying through the air off this planter and being sent through a window pane in a storefront. And he ended up going to the hospital before being arrested, of course. Both of them were arrested. So he ended up with several injuries, including a punctured lung and a ruptured testicle. Yikes. Not just that, but his buddy managed to get a couple snapshots off on their disposable camera before the guy went on his unattended flight through the window. And they actually used those pictures to convict the guy of charge basically along the lines of barnyard sodomy and essay on a law enforcement animal. Okay. Uh, Again, I can't remember the exact 100% details of that story. That's the gist of it. That's the main part of it. But yeah, late 90s, frat boys. What can you say? All right, so merch links in bio. It's a cold one out there, guys. Stay warm, be happy, be funny, love each other, take care of each other, be good to each other. Have a good day.